Hey everyone, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please be sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating. Okay, folks, not too much to report on the price action. We're still waiting for Bitcoin to make a decisive move, whether that be a relief rally, right? A move upwards, but not to new all-time highs, or we see further collapse of the price. So we're going to have to be patient. However, we are seeing some positive signs. So for example, on multiple time frames, we're seeing Bitcoin become oversold and in fact, extreme oversold. Plus you have extreme fear. So that's why I'm leaning towards a higher probability of a relief rally. But look, markets don't do what we want or feel. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens next. But here, the 10-day RSI is reaching the oversold zone. The weekly is already oversold. The daily has been extremely oversold. Even on the monthly chart, we're seeing Bitcoin's RSI approaching levels that we've seen at the bottom of previous bear markets. So be patient, guys. I know it's painstaking. I know it's annoying. It's frustrating. I get it. But there are great buying opportunities here. And I'm personally looking to grab some altcoins like the ones I've been talking about, where BlackRock's been buying Uniswap, Apollo has been buying Morpho. You have Citadel buying Layer Zero as well. So these are opportunities you want to look at. Not financial advice. Make sure you take your time and do your research. But certainly we are seeing some positive signs for a move. And here's another example. Over 400,000 Bitcoin were accumulated between 60,000 to 70,000 during Bitcoin's recent downturn, signaling strong dip buying according to Glassnode data. So the on-chain data is showing us that accumulation is happening. And of course, smart money, that's when they accumulate. When retail is fearful, they've given up. The headlines are reading Bitcoin is dead, it's over, and all these things, right? Now, again, doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't dip down to the 50Ks, right? Maybe it dips down to 58K or a little bit lower, and that's the true bottom. But the majority of the downside is completed, right? So this is where having the macro view is so important. Now, folks, some positive news. The White House reiterates that President Trump has no plans to pardon Sam Bankman-Fried despite FTX founder's social media push. So I'm not sure how many of you know about this, but Sam Bankman-Fried, I think someone on his behalf has been tweeting nonstop, and it's pretty much trying to kiss Trump's ass. Trump is the best. Trump did this, right? He's trying to rewrite history, saying, "Oh, FTX was not bankrupt. We were okay." Dude, you stole customer funds. You're a scammer, right? You get out of here. So he deserves to be in jail. He should not get pardoned. And I'm really happy that President Trump and his administration are not planning to pardon this scammer. So this is a very good sign. Now, the big news of the day, Mark Zuckerberg's Meta is planning a stablecoin comeback in the second half of this year. So everyone is looking to launch their stablecoin, folks. And this is what we were talking about when the Genius Act passed. You're going to see the major companies out there, the Amazons, the Metas, the Googles, they're going to launch some sort of stablecoin or adopt stablecoins, right? We may even see a consortium where you have a bunch of different companies come together and launch their own stablecoin. But look, Facebook, they were early to this, folks. Remember, they tried to do this in 2018 and they got blocked, right? Congress went crazy. They brought in Mark Zuckerberg and a bunch of people from Facebook. They shut it down immediately. And that's because they knew that this was trouble, where Facebook had the network effects, the adoption, right? It had so many millions of people on it worldwide that if Facebook was to start some sort of stablecoin, it would be very disruptive, not only to the banks and these incumbents, but the government wouldn't be able to track it. Right now, they have the tools. Now the legislation's in place. They can track it properly. So I'm actually surprised Facebook and Meta didn't start doing this sooner. But look, better late than never, right? So Meta sent out an RFP, a request for product, to third-party firms to help administer stablecoin-based payments, according to sources. Stripe, which acquired stablecoin firm Bridge last year, was mentioned by one source as the likely candidate or a likely candidate for piloting Meta's stablecoin. Meta famously tried to introduce the Libra stablecoin, later renamed Diem, in 2019, only for it to be shut down amid regulatory scrutiny. So folks, this is going to be very big. Now, with all of these firms, launching stablecoins, I think over time there will have to be some consolidation. Now, Meta has a huge distribution network, right? With Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it. They have users, so they can easily push it out and get adoption overnight, right? Especially if they're offering it in the right way with the proper benefits. So this is something to watch because part of launching a stablecoin, you need distribution, you need network effects. That's why you're seeing certain firms partner with certain companies to have them use their stablecoin, because if you're just using it within your own company and it doesn't have the open market distribution, especially going global and things along those lines, it's not going to be as impactful. I'm not saying it can't be successful internally, but most of these guys are trying to get adoption across the globe. So Meta has the customer base to be able to do this. So this is something to pay attention to. It's going to be very, very big. Now, folks, this episode is brought to you by Propy. Propy is leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. Folks, we know blockchain is going to disrupt the real estate market, the buying and selling process, making it more efficient, eliminating a lot of the middlemen and the fees. But real estate will also be tokenized on the blockchain. We are seeing this starting to happen already. Well, Propy is leading the charge, folks. They are using AI and blockchain to disrupt the real estate industry. They've been around since 2017. They've facilitated over $5 billion in deals. So, folks, you can buy and sell your home on Propy's platform for cryptos. So if you want to sell your house for Bitcoin, you can do that, which is amazing. And they use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service for the buying and selling. So they put deeds on chain. They've created NFTs for properties. They are doing a lot. And legendary investor Tim Draper is an investor in this company. He still is to this day, and he's very bullish. I personally hold a Propy token. I'm very bullish on this coin long term. I discovered it back in 2018, and I bought it since then. I remember buying it on Bittrex because I recognized that blockchain is going to disrupt different industries, and I saw Propy as the leader in that space. So they've been doing some incredible things. So if you'd like to learn more, go to propy.com. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, we have an update here from the Fed. So the Fed proposes a rule to deal with crypto debanking by scrapping reputation risks. The proposal would cut the risk factor from Fed oversight and bar supervisors from pushing banks to cut off disfavored businesses, including crypto. So it looks like there's still some loose ends here with Operation Chokepoint 2.0 and those things that were happening under Biden administration. So it's really great to see that they're looking to, get rid of some of these things. So this will continue to opening up more banking opportunities for crypto companies and help them to continue to grow. Now, we have some big updates from crypto exchanges, including Coinbase and Kraken. So Coinbase opens stock and ETF trading to all US users in multi-asset push. So they are allowing customers to buy and sell equities alongside crypto within the same app on a 24/5 basis. So not 24/7, but 24/5. The rollout includes commission-free trading, fractional shares, and instant funding with USD and USDC. According to a company post on Tuesday, thousands of stocks are available to trade 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, with approximately 6,000 securities currently supported and plans to expand that number in the coming weeks. So crypto companies now offering stocks, and even some are doing exposure to gold. And it makes sense, right? If you have people on there that are investing and these asset classes are also doing well, it allows people to diversify and it allows these companies to be able to compete with the likes of Robinhood and others. So smart move. And even Kraken is getting into the mix. So Kraken debuts tokenized stock perpetual futures for non-US traders. So Kraken Exchange has launched trading of tokenized equity perpetual futures on its regulated derivatives platforms, allowing eligible non-US clients to trade 24/7 leverage exposure to major US stock indexes, gold, and individual companies including Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla. Here's another example of how things are expanding. WisdomTree gets SEC approval for round-the-clock trading of tokenized money market fund. So many of you know crypto started the whole 24/7, 365 market movement, right? And now TradFi is getting on board. The stock exchanges are looking to go 24/7 and they're tokenizing the assets, and that's what tokenization is going to allow more reach globally and the 24/7 trading. I've been saying for years, There's not going to be an opening and closing bell for the stock market in the future, guys. That's going to be a thing of the past. Larry Fink, 2 to 3 years ago said tokenization is the future of finance. And look at what has happened since then, right? And BlackRock, they put their money where their mouth is. They launched one of the most successful money market funds, which is Biddle, and other players are following suit. So, US based asset manager WisdomTree has launched 24/7 trading and instant settlement for the WisdomTree Treasury Money Market Digital Fund, enabling around the clock secondary trading of a registered tokenized mutual fund within the US regulatory framework. The company said that it is the first time a registered tokenized mutual fund has been allowed to trade and settle around the clock under the Investment Company Act of 1940 using a dealer principal model. The structure allows shares to settle instantly, giving investors real-time access to yield-bearing US Treasuries exposure. Folks, this is where the puck's heading. Everybody's going to do this. So incredible. And the SEC, we've seen Paul Atkins, the chair, talk about he wants to get this going faster than expected. Because, guys, aside from the crypto aspect of this, this is also trying to further solidify and build the capital markets here in the United States. I know we have the largest capital markets, but the point is they're trying to expand globally to bring in more liquidity and more investors. So this is not just about crypto, it's about expanding the financial markets or the US financial markets. A big update here from Bitwise. Bitwise acquires Chorus One, potentially paving the way for more staked ETFs. So the acquisitions, the mergers, the IPOs, and these things continue. So crypto asset manager Bitwise has acquired the staking services company Chorus One, which oversees more than $2.2 billion in staked assets and could help Bitwise expand its portfolio of crypto staking products. Bitwise said on Tuesday that 50 of Chorus One's employees will join Bitwise on-chain solutions, where several billion dollars worth of crypto assets are already staked. The acquisition could see Bitwise diversify its range of exchange-traded products, including staking, as the SEC has shown support for a broader range of crypto investment products. So big news here. I'm a big fan of the folks at Bitwise. I've often had Matt Hogan on the pod. He was actually at the Money Show in Las Vegas, so we got to catch up in person, and we were on a panel together as well talking about crypto. So big move here by Bitwise. Now, some news on MoonPay. So MoonPay launches agents giving AI systems wallets and on-chain cash flow. Folks, AI agents are going to be a big part of commerce and assisting people to do different things, and they're going to be able to transact. And guess what? They're not going to use cash. They're not going to use Venmo. They're going to use stablecoins. So crypto payments and stablecoin infrastructure company MoonPay has introduced a new software layer that gives artificial intelligence systems direct access to blockchain-based financial networks, a development that could allow AI agents to independently hold and move digital assets rather than rely on human intermediaries. The product, called MoonPay Agents, is a non-custodial tool that allows AI agents or agentic AI to create wallets, hold digital assets, and execute on-chain transactions without human intervention once funded. So the launch reflects a broader push to integrate autonomous AI systems with crypto infrastructure, potentially allowing algorithms to interact directly with decentralized finance protocols and other blockchain applications. Folks, this right here is the future as well. Big part of the token economy and where we're headed. And it's not just going to be AI agents, it's going to be humanoid robots. I'm sure many of you have seen the Tesla bot and what Boston Dynamics and all these folks, even the robots companies in China, what they're doing, they're getting more and more advanced. And I think within possibly by 2030, you could see commercialized robots out there, not only in factories and in businesses, but in our homes, as assistants helping seniors and different things. Obviously, there's a whole other societal human psychology and all these things, the conversation that could happen, but I'm just sharing where the puck's heading. So this is where you can take your bets. as far as blockchains, maybe investing in AI companies, robotics companies, and so forth, as far as stocks. So these are things to think about, and it's moving pretty fast, guys. So you have the dovetailing and convergence of these different technologies, AI and blockchain, that are going to benefit each other. Now, we have some big news around Ripple and XRP. We've been seeing a lot of XRP ledger news recently as far as adoption and folks tokenizing in the XRP ledger. Here, DSRV tweeted out, "We're pleased to announce a joint research initiative between DSRV and SBI Ripple Asia. Together, we will explore the application of blockchain technology in Korea and Japan remittance and payments corridor, focusing on regulatory alignment, operational design, and technical integration with existing financial infrastructure. As part of this research, we will examine the potential use of the XRP ledger in cross-border payment and settlement cases. This initiative marks a strategic step toward building trusted, scalable, blockchain-based financial infrastructure across Asia." So really, really great stuff. As I've been telling you guys, we've been seeing an explosion in adoption of the XRP ledger ever since the SEC lawsuit got wrapped up. So this is where, you hear people years ago say, nobody's using the XRP. Yeah, no kidding, because they're tied up in a lawsuit. No one wants to take that risk. But now that that's gone, the roadblocks are out of the way, the headwinds are gone. People are now building an XRP ledger. So this is really great. Final news item here, and this could be interesting. Fintech giant Stripe circles possible PayPal acquisition. So PayPal has been taking a bit of a hit lately. In full disclosure, I'm a PayPal stockholder. So the stock is down, but it's been, recovering a bit. But, there have been talks about possibly Elon buying PayPal. Now you have Stripe potentially being able to buy PayPal. So what does this matter? Well, PayPal has a stablecoin, and they already have a crypto infrastructure with Venmo and these things, right? You can buy and sell crypto on the platform. And Stripe, we know, is very much involved in stablecoins. So if PayPal was to get acquired, their crypto business and stablecoin will be obviously pushed into Stripe's infrastructure. So this is something to watch, and it could be a powerhouse. So this is very, very, very interesting. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't as yet. Be sure to subscribe to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. And be sure to grab a copy of my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. All the links will be in the description. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.